Imagine a world without the internet, smartphones, or television. In 1665, the Great Plague swept through London, forcing Cambridge University to close. Isaac Newton, a young student, returned to his family's quiet farm, Woolsthorpe Manor. What seemed like a disruption became a blessing. The countryside offered Newton something rare: silence, time, and freedom from academic routines. Away from lectures, Newton's mind wandered and questioned everything. This period, his year of wonders, became the most productive of his life. The world became his laboratory. Newton observed the sun, stars, and changing seasons, seeing opportunity in every detail. He filled notebooks with radical ideas about light, mathematics, and motion. The plague had closed his university but opened the door to his own universe of discovery. The quiet solitude of Woolsthorpe was the fertile ground for a revolution in science. Here, Newton's curiosity would flourish. Without distractions, he could focus deeply on the puzzles that fascinated him. The seeds of modern science were about to be sown, all because one young man was sent home to wait out a storm. Sometimes isolation is the spark for genius. Newton's curiosity set him apart from everyone else. He never accepted, "That's just the way things are." He always asked, "Why?" The countryside became his endless source of questions. He built tools, experimented with prisms, and even risked his eyesight to study light. Newton didn't just observe, he investigated, tinkered, and measured. Where others saw beauty, he saw mysteries to solve. This relentless drive to understand was the engine of his genius. Newton's mind was always searching for the next big question. One quiet afternoon, Newton sat beneath an apple tree at Woolsthorpe. An apple fell, a simple event, but for Newton, it sparked a profound question. Why did it fall straight down? Most would ignore it, but Newton saw a demonstration of a fundamental force. He wondered, what pulls the apple to the ground? Does this force act on everything? This moment of inspiration focused his intellect on a universal mystery. Newton realized there must be an invisible force at work. The apple's fall became the catalyst for a new understanding of nature. He began to connect this everyday event to the grandest movements in the cosmos. The real work began to define, measure, and describe this force with mathematics. The humble apple pointed the way to one of history's greatest discoveries. Newton's mind leapt from the apple to the moon. Could the force pulling the apple down also keep the moon in orbit? At the time, people thought the heavens and earth followed different rules. Newton challenged this, reasoning that the moon is constantly falling toward Earth, just like a stone thrown fast enough to circle the planet. The moon, he realized, is always falling, but moving so fast it never hits the ground. This unified the laws of Earth and sky gravity. To prove it, Newton used his new mathematics, calculus, to calculate the forces. He found gravity weakens with distance, explaining why the moon stays in orbit. The same force acts on apples and planets alike. Suddenly, the universe made sense. A rational, orderly system governed by a universal law. Newton's insight tore down the wall between Earth and the heavens. The cosmos was now open to human understanding. Newton didn't stop with gravity. In 1687, he published the Principia, laying out his 3 laws of motion and the law of universal gravitation. His equations let scientists predict planetary orbits, tides, and even discover new planets. Newton's work transformed science into a predictive powerhouse. The universe was no longer mysterious, but a grand machine running on knowable laws. This idea became the foundation of modern science. Even today, we use Newton's laws to send rockets to the moon and satellites into orbit. His story shows that great discoveries begin with simple questions and relentless curiosity. Newton's curiosity didn't just change science, it changed our relationship with the universe.